What you ask for in peace, what you expect to receive in peace, may be met by you in peace. What you ask for in fear will be received by you in fear, because you are the one that directs your receptivity based upon your own requirements and decrees. The decree of love, I am in love, is a vibratory claim. It is not an emotional claim. I am in love. I am in the frequency of love, the current that carries all things to beauty, to light, and to the grace of God. Now, when you understand what love is not obsession. Love is not a feeling. Love is not a demand you make upon another. Love is not a set of tools or behaviors. You can begin to comprehend that what you have done in the past is mistake the rivulet, the small outpicturing that seems to be of love, for the great river itself. Because love is always in flow, you can't catch it with a thimble, but you can enter it, you can partake in it, as the whole being you are. Now, the teachings of today are going to be twofold: the requirement for reception and the agreement to it. The requirement for reception of love is so simple you mistake it. The requirement for the reception of love is simply yes, accord. Yes as accord. A-C-C-O-R-D, A-C-H-O-R-D, as on a piano. To say yes to love is to move into an alignment of that which is always present, but you don't see it because you expect it to be what it is not. I am so in love with this one. I love the way that looks. You mistake love for aggression or passion. You mistake love for what you want it to be, solace and a reprieve from loneliness, when in fact, love expresses beyond all these things and is so available to you, you mistake it for nothing. You want the dashing suitor, the beautiful woman, the one who has the answers to all of your prayers, to arrive in your life and say yes to you, when in fact what needs to happen is your saying yes to love. And whatever love outpictures as is how it has come for you. You limit love in all ways by your decisions about it, the qualifications you offer it. I will love a beautiful woman, perhaps a wealthy man. I will love my children, but not the orphans over there. I will love my family, but not the people across the street. You direct love in self-serving ways. Believe you have loved when, in most cases, all you have is an agreement to someone else through a set of doctrine or rules. Parents are supposed to love their children. Men and women are supposed to love one another when they marry. These are presumptuous choices or agreements that you have made. Love may take any form, and any agreement made in love will actually lift the lover to the highest reception. You become the lover as you love, not who you love, not why you love. If there is a reason for why, a reason of love that you could outline, in likelihood, there is no love. I love this man because he is my friend. I love this child because she is mine. I love that parent because he or she raised me. Love may take these forms, but love requires no decision except yes. As long as love is delineated by an idea of should, this should be love. He should love me because I love him. They should do what they do if they were really in love. You will be confused. True love, you see, is simply being in accord with the river of love. And the divine river of love carries all things through and to it. The moment you say, I am truly willing to know love, what love is not will make itself known. And the pain of this, in many cases, is shattering to the structure of personality who only thought love could be a certain thing. When love is allowed to be love, when it's allowed to be agreed to without a moniker, a set of results, reasons to love or not to love, you may actually embark on a reality and expression in reality that is actually transformational to the personality structure, because suddenly it avails itself of love as all things. Now, love as all things does not mean you love unconditionally the rain as well as the snow, the light and the dark. True love means you are realizing the action of love that expresses through you, and you are no longer deciding that it is you who is the lover. You have become both the recipient of divine love and the expression of it. Imagine a lantern that is always filled. Its flame always burns. You become that flame, indeed, that lantern. But what fills the lantern is divine love that operates as and through you. To love another through qualifications, the way he or she presents, what they do for work, how they fit into a schemata of acceptance through culture, has nothing to do with love. It has to do with personal agenda. To love the cripple who wanders the road begging for alms as you would do your own husband, your own child, is to truly know love. Why would you use that example, he says? You just lost most of us. In fact, we did not. In fact, you all know that this is true, but it is not convenient, so you don't want to hear it. You understand intellectually the idea that if indeed there is a God, it loves all things equally. But you do not wish to be as God, to love as God can love. And in your refusal of this, you have denied love. Perhaps you have a crumb of it in the relationship you hold dear, but the entirety of the piece of cake is somewhere you will never find, because you have become sated with the crumbs that have been left for you. To truly love another human being is to ask nothing of them. To truly love another human being is to cherish them because they be, not because of what they do or how they present to the world. To truly love another human being is to accept them as they are, even when they don't present as you wish, do as you would have them do. Does that make us victims? He asks. What if I love someone who is abusive? You don't love someone who is abusive in the ways that you are saying. Indeed, you love them because they be. But if your love is returned with scorn, you have an expectation that it is not being met. And your refusal of them at the level of accord that we teach you is to your detriment. You don't stay in an abusive relationship. But to love an abuser is not to engage. It's to remember the source, the one who made all things. Understand that the one you know, while of that source, is not present for you in the ways you wish. This does not mean you do not love them. It does mean you are not asking for them to change. That is not your issue. Love is not about getting someone to be who you want them to be, even if you feel that it's for their own good. I will love Jonathan when he stops drinking. Until he stops drinking, I will stand by him. I will tolerate the messes. I will cry in private, because one day Jonathan will be who I want him to be. That is not love. That is self-abnegation. You love Jonathan anyway and go about your business. If you can truly be of aid to Jonathan, indeed you will know it. But to tolerate behavior in the expectation of another's change is in fact narcissistic. They will be who I want them to be to confirm my need. Not one of you knows the lessons another has come to learn. Some of you learn lessons in very challenging ways. The beggar on the road we spoke of prior may be learning the highest lessons of all of you, but you would not imagine this because you still believe that there is a God that favors some over others, and the beggars must be punished by something they did, something they believed or chose. This is not the case. You come to learn different things. Some who learn the most challenging lessons have chosen to learn the hardest and the highest at the same time. This is not a noble act. It is a choice that a soul makes prior to incarnation. But what about God in that scenario, Paul asks? Is God not favoring the one who is happy? God is loving the beggar equally, Paul. When you were poverty-stricken, you were deeply loved and deeply cared for every step of the way. If you choose to forget this, it would be to your detriment. Every human being born is loved equally by Source, but they are agreed to equally by Source, given the same set of tools, perhaps not the same circumstances as anyone else. And the primary tool that is given is indeed free will. When you understand that free will is the right to choose, the ability to say yes and confirm what you require, I am in love, you will understand the manifestation of individual reality. When you understand how the collective operates, we are all saying yes or no to the idea of peace, the idea of conflict, the idea of fear. You will see that what you present and agree to as a world is the product of the collective and its expectations. Now, to know love, to truly know love, is to say yes to it and allow love to know you. The one who enters the river is welcomed by the river. The river forms to the body that has entered its waters. It carries it in its stream. It conducts itself as it always has, but now with your inclusion. You idealize love. I will catch that butterfly that is love, before it flies away from me too quickly. This is a romantic ideal. It is never true. Love is an eternal act because love is God in action. When you truly love, you are as of God, both the loved one and the lover, in expression. To enter the river, to say, I am willing to be seen in this new way, I am willing to be enveloped by it, is the willingness to be known. Many of you refute love because there is something you hide, a deep, dark secret, if you wish, a terrible shame, a flaw you fear, my temper, my lust, my worry, my fear. Whatever these things are that you hide from the beloved, that you try to keep in your pockets as you enter the river, must be released so that you may be carried by the flow. To refuse to release these things is to say that love cannot hold them. Love will not agree to them. They are too terrible even for God. What could possibly be too terrible for God? If God is all things and indeed all-knowing, Can't you imagine that the source of all things knows your fear and is simply waiting for you to say, "Take this, please. It harms me so. It keeps me from love. I cannot be intimate with another when I shield these things from myself or from him or her." To allow the river to carry you is also to allow that anything that you have gathered that would bind you, tether you to the fear, to an old love perhaps, or an idea of a future love, must be released from you. Paul is seeing someone carried by the river. Their clothes are weighty. Their pockets are full. As the river flows, the buttons of the shirt are undone, the trousers unbuttoned, and the being travels naked into the clearest water that he or she may know. The object of love is being as love, being known by love. It is not the right companion. It is not loving your children because they are finally doing as you wish or say. It is simply realization. Now, the action of this class, opening to love, is the agreement to open. And if you wish now, you may say these words. On this night, I choose to allow myself to agree to my own potential to be loved, to be encompassed by love, to be shown love, and to align in all ways to its essence. On this night, I say yes to the agreement to love, to the idea that love may approach me, may gather me in its arms and carry me in its current while it strips me of all resistance to it. On this night, I say yes to truly knowing myself as worthy of love, so that I may be the lover and the beloved, the lantern that is lit in love, in the fire of love, in the being of truth, that I know that I am. I claim this of my own free will. I am choosing yes. I am being yes. I am in love, in true love, and as I say yes, I allow the river to capture me and carry me home. Yes to this. Say yes to this. Say yes to this. It will be so. Be as you are. Let yourself be known. I am known in love. I am in love. I am being as love. It will be so. It is so. It is so. Stop now, please.